Stuff is how we like to communicate our thoughts and feeling, stories that can make you relate. And we talk to some cool people we met on the way. So thanks for tuning in. We hope that you like your stay.
Hey, I'm Hannah.
Hi, I'm Mel.
Hey, I'm Mason.
And welcome to another episode of the GIRLSTUFF podcast. Today we have our lovely Canadian friend, Mason, from Juneyun, Georgia. But before we get into all about Netflix and Juneyun, Georgia, Mason, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I'm an actor. I play Hunter Chen on Netflix's Juneyun, Georgia, and now I just sing Happy Friday to people on Cameo. So that is how I'm making my living.
It's funny because we were talking to Devin the other day and we were like, we are honestly wondering how many times has Mason needed to sing Happy Friday since he got Cameo.
You want me to tell you? You want me to show you?
Let's see.
Let me open this thing up. I know it's over 100 now. It is, holy shit, it is 296 times I've done it.
You've already done it 296 times.
I thought it was maybe 150. I'm almost to 300. Holy shit. And actually, 96, right? So that means I need to do 4 more. I've got 3 more in the queue.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll ask you for that last one so you can hit the 300 mark.
There we go.
There we go. We can help you achieve that goal of 300 Happy Friday.
There we go.
Now, do you
it's like
do
your
them...
Hail Marys, except it's your Happy Fridays. Yeah.
Now, do you do them with the dog filter or without the dog filter is the actual question.
No, I refuse. So basically, a lot of people do want the dog filter, but like you can't do the filter on Cameo. Like that's just not how it works. And also, I refuse to get Snapchat because if I do get Snapchat, this is like, it's not going to be 300. It's going to be like 40 million or something. Like I don't know. So,
yeah, well, you've definitely become a meme of Happy Friday, and I think that's... I know when Mel first watched the show on Fridays, she would actually send us Snapchats saying Happy Friday. I was like, Mel.
With the dog filter.
With the dog filter. So you've inspired her, you know.
It was a moment in the show that so, okay, this is what happened. I've explained this to a couple of folks. In the script, in like the table read, we're reading and it says Hunter sends Ginny a good morning video where he's playing guitar on his bed. I think he's shirtless, and like the way I imagined it was like, he has a camera set up and he's like crisscross applesauce with his acoustic guitar, and it's like really cute or whatever. I show up on the day and we're already like behind schedule at this point, I believe. So both directors, both first block and I think second block directors were also like, everyone was gone. So it's just me and continuity. And I walk in and there's like about that wide and tall of drywall, and I instructed to sit down. Okay, I'll sit down in front of the drywall. They hand me a phone. Sarah Lampert apologizes for this profusely, because this is something that I think she was concussed at this point, so she wasn't able to help. So she just left it. They turn on Snapchat and they're like, okay, sing a song. Sing what? Sing what song? Yeah, sing your Happy Friday thing. What Happy Friday? I made up the Happy Friday thing and the sophomore sleepover thing on the spot. And yeah, there's the first version we did, which will never see the light of day, but it exists somewhere in that phone that I did it in. It is not with the dog filter. It's with the rainbow puking filter. I think your eyes get wide too. It's horrifying. It's like something out of some kind of awful thing.
I need to see that. I don't know how we're going to find that, but we will find it one way or another.
Nope. No, you won't. And then they tried a bunch of different filters, but they landed on the dog filter because that was the only one that didn't look utterly horrifying. So then I did it, and then I did the sophomore sleepover thing. They didn't want a filter on that for whatever reasons. I don't know. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, I'm going back home, being driven home, and I'm just thinking like, no one does that. No one does that, do they? Is that a thing kids do? I don't have Snapchat. I don't know, but I feel like that's not something people do. And then I remember my first day of ADR. I walk in. That's the first thing I see. I'm like, no one, no one does that. And then the show came out, and guess what? No one does that. No one. No one does this.
No, Hunter does. Hunter is the person who does do that. He's that kind of guy.
Does.
What can I say?
Great. Hunter does that now, and now people do it because it's a joke. Oh my God. But Sarah, like, and Deb, they're both like, oh God. There was a 3 second, because it's like, to us, you know, people that are not 15, we're all like, oh, well, that was weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's at most, it's like, no one does that, whatever, that's weird. Moving on. No one expected that was going to latch on, and that was going to be the first thing Hunter's known for.
Now,
So,
how
but
many
hey, you
times
know
have
what?
you received a Happy Friday video? Have you
How-
received you yourself? Have you received any Happy Friday videos?
I receive them to this day.
Oh.
I will never not receive them. I have people in my DMs telling me happy Sunday, happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single day. Like, upon becoming, and I hate this word, but famous, now I'm just like this pinata for people on every side of the spectrum, from I love you, please impregnate me with 3 kids, to I want to break your legs and kill you with your tap shoes, you are awful, you need to die, and everything in between. From, there's this one kid, let me pull up his DM. I mentioned him in my last podcast. I guess I'm going to mention him on this podcast. Every day, I think it is. Every day, this champ, yeah, right there, Braden. What's up, Braden? Oh no, I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to expose him. But it says how much money for your delicious man bun, and then heart eyes emoji. And he's done this yesterday twice. May 28th, 27th, 26th, May 17th, May 12th, 13, 11, 9, April 17th, 16 twice, 14, 13, 10, 8, 7, 6, 6 again, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 1st, March 31st, March 30th, like literally since the beginning of the show.
Dedication.
Yeah. No, that's not how you get Mason's attention. I notice it, but I'm never responding. Like, but go ahead, kid. You go, kid. Then there's like, you know, a ton of people asking me for the Happy Friday video, which is like, I'm sorry, pay me. Because if I did it for free, I'd never have a life ever again. That's how many people ask me every single day of my life now. Oh Jesus, yeah, it's even more Happy Fridays, and it was Friday yesterday, that's why.
Yes, it was Friday yesterday.
Jesus Christ. I don't even remember what day of the week it is.
You know what, though? Quarantine. We love quarantine, and the fact that we don't actually know where we are anymore, because it's just all blending into one day. But speaking of quarantine and Happy Fridays that you've had to do, is there anything else that you got the chance to do that you otherwise wouldn't have had the time to do because of quarantine? Other than get a pup, obviously.
Therapy. But no, seriously, therapy. Just like life has moved so fast for me that everything feels like it happened in a day. But because life slowed down finally, there's nothing else to do. I got to do some much needed therapy, which was good. It didn't. Let me advocate for therapy for anyone that's listening, but let me also say that it's not going to be immediate results. In fact, it was short-term therapy, so by the time I was done, it didn't feel like anything had happened. But as it settled and as I came up to similar obstacles again, it started to all settle in, and I was better equipped to handle it. And I can say at this point now, probably a year out from when I didn't finish my therapy until about September, but almost a year out. I feel like a changed person. I feel like I can handle the things that before I really couldn't. And yeah, but it's not immediate. And I mean, that was pretty quick for me, even for it to settle in a year.
Yeah.
I think that's because I'm in a privileged place where I can like, it's not easy financially or economically or whatever right now, but I'm not nearly as bad off as other folks I know, or particularly me before the pandemic, before Ginny and Georgia. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it, I was able to apply it so easily and quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's going to be universal for everyone. It's like people's journeys to recovery can take decades, even. Depends on the trauma, depends on your time and space and availability and like mental space. So I got to do that. I got to go back to uni, but aka sit in my room and be sad. But luckily, I got to enter. So I'm going back. I went back to uni for because I had already completed like at my alma mater as an acting student at a different school. I tried to block transfer that. Didn't work. Only basically covered my first year, which was like, oh, damn it. But I went back for creative writing purposes. I wanted to enter their creative writing program, and now I am in that. My first attempt, I didn't get in, but that's because I didn't have enough credits. I think is the main issue. I'm in now, which is awesome. I'm really excited to get that started in hopefully September.
Yeah.
Depending on whenever the show, like we get back to it, I have no idea yet, but I'd love. Well, personally, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to afford it if we start school in September. I'd rather do the show, but anyways, yeah, I'm excited to do that. I wrote a pilot over quarantine in the summer. A show about what it was like for me to grow up in the place I grew up.
In your home.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I call it my hometown.
Okay.
It's difficult using the word home with that place.
Okay.
And how idiosyncratic that place is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still working on it, and I finished a pitch document, and we'll see. I'm gonna do my best and see if I can sell it. But it's very, very unique.
Definitely.
It's very unique in concept. I'm pretty inspired by Donald Glover's Atlanta. I don't know if either of you two have seen it. I highly recommend anyone listening to see it. It is brilliant. And I'm pretty inspired by that, but that show's pretty weird. And that's not what he pitched to FX, and then he just made his own thing. So it was like, oh shit, am I gonna have to pitch something that sounds not like what I'm trying to do?
Or you might just pitch exactly what you want to do. I mean, it's a different world now where
it is a different world.
It's
just like, it's complicated. I'm juggling like 3 tones in the thing. Basically, there are 3 main storylines, and they don't really cross. It's like Mean Girls, Death Note, and Ozark all in the same show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
definitely not done before, so
No. I think I balanced the tones pretty well, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning as a writer, and like one of the storylines, like the character that represents me, has so far been the most difficult to write, probably because it is me. So it's like, oh wow, that's harder to analyze. Whereas the character that's my sister is really simple for me to write.
Yeah.
The characters that are my mom and my dad, really simple to write. But getting introspective on me, it's like, oh dang, like why is this more complicated than I thought it would be?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe you'll never see the light of day, but I think it's pretty interesting.
We like to manifest things here, so I would say that we will be manifesting that your pilot actually gets made and the script gets seen, and you get something out of it. Because I think it's important for anyone to just tell their story, whether it's through a big platform like Netflix and Disney Plus, or just your own production that you just do with a couple of friends and be like, hey, let's just go out and find a place and shoot this type of thing, right? Because it also can help with closure and stuff like that too, right? So definitely,
yeah. I don't
Worth
know
it,
how I'm
worth it.
gonna film like like a semi truck getting flipped by the RCMP and then like AK-47s being found in the back. But uh,
You can do it if you
yeah,
try.
yeah,
So
that was
you
my
went.
second day of grade 9, just so you know. Yeah,
So
it's an insane story.
yeah, no, no. You know what? I think everyone should have the opportunity to tell their story, and the fact that you are writing it, I think, is a step more than what other people tend to do with their stories.
Yeah,
So whether it's just
can't knock me for not trying or whatever. So you
exactly,
know.
exactly, yeah. So you went back to school. So is this kind of like a master's program, or is it like undergrad type of
No,
program?
no, it's still undergrad, which sucks.
Hey, undergrad's fine.
Basically, like I did 3 years at Studio 58, an acting conservatory out of Lancaster College, specifically their basement.
Yeah,
But it's like a pretty prestigious acting program in Western Canada.
yeah.
But that's like a college diploma.
Hmm.
And yeah, I intended to block transfer it entirely, so I'd only have to do like 1 or maybe 2 years to complete my degree.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then it turns out no, I have
You have
to
to do
do
it all.
a full 3 years, which
Hmm.
is brutal. But hey, I'm at least gonna maybe finally get my degree. So,
Yeah,
not that a
yeah.
degree matters in my field, you know, like no one's going, oh, he's a great actor, that George Clooney, but he doesn't have a BA in environmental studies. Wow, what a chump, you know, like no one's doing that. So,
No one
um,
is doing that. Yeah, no, you're right. And I mean,
yeah,
with school being online, like, I mean, most of Canada, from what I've heard, they're giving the option of online school. So I think you might be able to get away with both filming and going to school if it works
well,
out there. But time and effort is
yeah,
also there, right? So,
yeah, it's there's still a lot of synchronous classes, and the way this
yeah,
program is done, basically, I have to take a term out whenever I
whenever you
find out
film.
what term,
Yeah,
yeah, Ginny and Georgia would be
yeah.
happening. Hopefully soon. So, yeah,
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I mean, there's a lot of stuff filming
yeah,
here. So, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe
I
we'll
mean, it
see.
took like what, year and a half for the show to get released. Jeez.
Yeah. So,
So,
speaking of shows and movies and acting, did you get into any shows or movies of your own that you kind of binge watched during quarantine or rewatched or
oh
anything
yeah.
like that? Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know. I saw like Tiger King and like the Michael Jordan thing, the
Yeah.
things that everyone was watching at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I started watching Ozark, and that was insane. I loved that. What else? I recently watched The Favorite. I like caught up on a bunch of Oscar movies I hadn't seen.
Okay.
Rewatched Batman Beyond. Love Batman Beyond.
Okay.
DC, if you're out there, please God, cast me as Terry McGinnis before I age out of that role. He's my favorite superhero character. um, what else is there? I watched Atlanta. Yeah, I watched Atlanta for the
Yeah.
first time. That happened pretty early on, and then I was
Yeah.
like, holy crap, this is incredible.
Mhm.
Um, Queen's Gambit, like everyone else did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So
I
no
just
Marvel
a ton
movies.
of
So you're
stuff.
more of a DC fan, is what I'm taking from
Oh
this
no, I
conversation.
love Marvel. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
Marvel. I'd say before Iron Man, before the MCU took off, I would be like a DC and Spider-Man fan. But
Okay.
then and the MCU, like, props to Kevin Feige for being like doing like what you would expect a producer to do, understand the material. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so difficult. Um, I hope I don't get canceled by Warner or something by saying this, but I hope like he reads the comics and he understands it. He gets it. Like, and
Yeah.
he changes it and adapts it to make it better suited for film. I
Mhm.
don't know. Like, I feel like he's maybe it's a much harder job than I think it is, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Kevin Feige like is just doing what a fan would do, He's doing what a
Yeah.
fan would do with the material, and like props to him. He should get all the accolades that he deserves. Like, there should
Honestly,
be
yeah.
some sort of major award for what he's accomplished because he's
Mhm.
created not just a trilogy or something. He's created like the next level of a franchise, the mega franchise.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of folks are apathetic about that. Like, oh, movies are forever going to be these like commercialized serial stupid thing. I think that's stupid. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Scorsese, but like I think this is just a really cool thing that's happening in the evolution of storytelling, and
Yeah.
I think he's killing it. Those
Mm-hmm.
movies are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Those movies are more and more inclusive and empowering, to be honest,
Yeah. Yeah.
and interesting. Like, I don't know, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I don't think you can fault them for being mainstream. So
Yeah. No,
they're
and I
mainstream
mean,
for a reason.
yeah, and I mean, I think like the Marvel series specifically, like everyone rewatches them on like an annual basis. They
Yeah,
go through a full rewatch of the entire series, which says a lot because I mean, it's a lot of movies. So for you to sit and be like, I'm going in order and staying true to that order is a huge thing. I mean, Spider-Man's not on anything, so you have to like find it or buy it from somewhere. But that's a different
damn
fight
it,
for another
Sony.
day.
Damn it, Sony. No, it's all right, Sony. You're cool. You're all right. Just make good movies. Like, here's the thing, man. If everyone's just making good movies, I don't care. Make sure you
Yeah.
make good movies.
Yeah, no,
Don't make
that's true.
garbage.
That's
You make
true.
garbage, you get on the bad side of the fan base, and I'm part of the fan base. So.
That's true. That's
But
true.
Warner, if you're listening, let's make an awesome like Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond thing.
We're here for this. I love this manifestation that's happening. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And when you get
Yeah.
cast, we'll come back to this podcast and we'll say, see, we said it. We
all
manifested it
started
out there.
here.
It all started here.
All started here. Yeah.
So talking about kind of like production and your love for just putting things on stage and seeing things get produced. You are a theater kid. You know, you're very musical as well. You play instruments and you sing. We can see that in Ginny and Georgia, but we can also just see that in you as a person. So where did this kind of passion for music start? And tell us a little bit about that.
Passion for music. Well, it was kind of forced onto me as a kid. My parents gave in to my Auntie Bev, who put me in piano
Mm-hmm.
and choir. My whole family, we all did choir.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wouldn't say that like I was particularly passionate about music
Mm-hmm.
until I wanted to play guitar. I played saxophone before I played guitar for 1 year because I thought it looked really cool. Then it turned out to be really heavy, and sucking on a reed really sucks. Like, by the time the reed is ready to go, it's been 30 minutes, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to play saxophone anymore. My mouth is sore from sucking on a reed. Um, but then I wanted to play guitar, try that out because my dad played guitar anyways. My Uncle
Mm-hmm.
John played guitar, and the main motivator was as a kid, I'm like, well, girls like guys who play guitar. So thank you, gendered whatever.
Normalities or whatever they're
So,
called. Yeah.
yeah, like it's stereotypes or something. The guitar playing guy. Um, but yeah, I play guitar because of that. I never intended guitar to be more than just a hobby, just something I do in my
Okay.
bedroom. But as an actor, that's kind of a really useful skill to play instruments.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of got incorporated into everything I do now.
Yeah.
So I remember like coming right off of G&G, management just kept on sending me out to like guitar playing roles, and it's taken me like forever to get it clear. Like, first and foremost, I'm an actor, not a guitar player. Like, I went to 3 years of school for acting.
Yeah.
Never did anything that formal for guitar, like
Yeah.
I just like playing my songs, and then I'm starting to write now just because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh darn it, now it's my brain's now it's starting to hear music, but
Yeah.
it was never meant to be more than
Just a hobby.
just a hobby, just something fun
Yeah.
that I could do to be just good enough to impress the lady.
Well, I
But
mean, it's safe to
yeah,
say that it was used to impress multiple ladies with Ginny and Georgia. So,
yeah, sure did.
Yeah. So, speaking of acting, you are an actor first and foremost. Yes, you play guitar and do other stuff as well. But We kind of want to talk a little bit about acting and kind of dive into that a little bit more. So what inspired you to even go into the acting field and go actually study it, because you went to school for it?
I guess like this might not be known outside of my personal circles. My mom was an actor and a model in Taiwan. Um, in fact, both sides of my family have links to acting, more so my Taiwanese side. But on my dad's side, my grandpa, he was a doctor after World War II, and but he also like helped found Stage North, the community theater up in Fort St. John.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he helped found them, but he certainly played a large part in acting certain roles, particularly he was in Scarlett's barking. He was in Fiddler in the Roof, Fiddler on the Roof, and he played the lion in Wizard of Oz. And apparently, people were like, "He's really good. He could be on Broadway." like, like people had seen Broadway shows, like he could be on Broadway.
Yeah.
And on my Taiwanese side, yeah, my mom was a model and an actor. All of her brothers and sisters, pretty much in some capacity, were in the film production world. My agong grandfather, he actually received a posthumous Golden Horse, which is the Oscar over in Taiwan. Their form of the Oscar for being one of the first people to have theater with translation. So you basically get American films over and translate. But the funny thing is, though, he doesn't speak English. So what he would do is he would just like watch them. He'd be like there with a microphone. And then they did this, like he'd just be making it up. But apparently that's a part of Taiwanese film history.
Okay.
So, and yeah, he was awarded posthumously with a Golden Horse. So, yeah, like there's streams of storytelling on both sides of my family. I was in like commercials as a baby, which maybe if I get big enough one day they'll uncover. No, I actually have them all. But yeah, like I did that and like modeled for like baby clothes and stuff like that. I did the same thing my mom did. And at the age of 3, we moved to Canada because my parents were worried I was going to get bullied in American school in Taiwan. So instead, I was bullied in Canadian school in Canada. Ha! By Canadians because I'm not white. And yeah, but eventually, like I found the stage again. In grade 7, I did a play called A Christmas Story, the one with the BB gun thing.
Yeah.
In the lamp with the leg. I played Schwartz in that, the little douchebag kid. And yeah, I was like, wow, this really feels right. And just kept on acting from there on. Had my own theater company at one point with my friends called Spectacular Chair Factory. We caused a big ruckus with that in the local community. Wrote a play in grade 11, won a local theater festival with that, and then off to theater school I went after I graduated. So then it was all history.
This is all history, yeah. So what's your favorite thing about acting? Like, what would you say is what keeps you in the acting field and in the entertainment industry?
I don't know. Honestly, it's a terrible financial decision in my life. I regret it every day. And I actually tell that to other actors. Like, this is not an easy life. It's a very, very difficult life. It's a privileged life to be able to consider it. But it is not an easy life. If not for Ginny and Georgia, I'd still be a starving actor. I might have quit at this point because of the pandemic. I don't know. But yet then again, I've never quit. Because it's just one of those things where it's just like, wow, this is a horrible decision to have spent my life doing. I should not do this. And then the next day I wake up, I'm like, God damn it, I got to go to rehearsal. I'm in a play again. Shit. I don't know. It's just like one of those things that I can't not do. And I describe it to people like acting should only be something, like if you want to do professionally, it should be something that you just can't not do because it's a terrible idea to be an artist. Technically, it's terrible because it's hard, it's difficult, it pushes you to crazy places. But I mean, who's going to tell you not to do it if you can't stop? So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I must have derived some sort of sick pleasure by doing this. It's fun. Like, that's the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun. I like it. It's fun to pretend. It's fun to affect people. It's fun to tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to be creative.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm extremely fortunate that it's now my job,
Yeah.
It's not as consistent as most people's jobs. It's a little difficult to explain to landlords, but it's there's not much else that I'd rather do. There's nothing else that I'd want to do.
Yeah.
And there's not much else that I can do.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I do
yeah.
think, the pandemic definitely has affected just any creative industry. Like, I'm a photographer and so is Mel. So we're both kind of just like, well, we can't take photos because we can't see people. So that's that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, how are you? Type of thing. Because
Right.
you can't really do anything. But it goes back, if you're passionate and if you love it and you love doing it, then who can tell you no? Sorry, you can't do that, right? But there are no's, obviously, that come with acting, and we'll talk a little bit about those afterwards. But before we get into a little bit of a game, the one question I have for you is, Hunter is a very relatable character. He's like the boy next door type of character. He is. I related to him. I was like, he's like geeky.
You tap dance down the hallway all the time too?
Oh, all the time.
So you're who we base those Snapchats on.
Yes,
okay.
It's actually, I did used to send my friends Snapchats with dog filters being like, happy Saturday,
Excellent.
What you doing today? Because I'm bored, let's hang out. So I related to it. Thank you for appealing to high school Hannah. I think she was very happy.
Very good.
But he is very much of like, he's a friend, he's loyal, he's very outgoing as well at some points. But do you have any secrets as to how you get into the role of your character?
Nope.
No? Okay. Yeah, fair.
Nope. Just go. Here's my secret technique for acting. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are a bunch of different schools of thought, and so this might get me like destroyed or canceled by some people in acting. But in my opinion, the character is in the words. Like, just do the words.
Mm-hmm.
Do the words. Do the character there. You don't have to put anything on. You don't have to live in a tent, or whatever. I think people get a little too caught up. I think the media loves the idea of the method.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the method, even there's a difference between Lee Strasberg's method and the method that the media puts out, because it's, I don't know, acting is mysterious to them. It's like, it's not mysterious. It's you just do the thing. Like, just do the thing. The words come out of your mouth the way they come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You can't ever truly be anyone else.
That's true.
You can only be yourself in different shades.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that comes out through the words, People make acting way too analytical. It's not. It's primal. Especially that's when you get the best performances.
That's
it's just
true.
natural.
Yeah.
They're not thinking actively about anything. They're just doing it, going for the goals.
Going through, just tap dancing in the hallway, because why not? Right.
Yeah. Like take that for example, as funny as that scene is. Like, I was nervous the entire time, so I played Hunter like he's nervous doing this thing. I also thought it was ridiculous, so I played Hunter like, look at me, I'm doing this ridiculous thing and I'm nervous, but like, I'm trying to, make you laugh on your birthday,
Yeah.
So that's the offer there, and I think that's just as valid,
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Yeah, authentic character and authentic playing or putting on kind of the character, I think, is what intrigues people, because then they're like, that's funny. Like, I remember a kid in high school used to do stupid things on the hallway to get people's attention. Like, it happens.
Oh, it's me, so thank you.
Not saying you. I'm just saying, like, people do things in the hallways to get attention. So it does happen, right? But maybe not now in high school. I don't know. I'm not in high school, so I'm like...
No, but certainly Hunter, he's doing stuff to get attention. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. But going
Hunter's
into
not real. It's okay. You can bash Hunter.
Hunter's a sweetheart. I love Hunter. Hunter deserves the world, I think, is what I personally
He does
believe.
deserve better.
He does deserve better, yes. So speaking about Ginny and Georgia, before we kind of get into a little bit more of Hunter and your time playing Hunter, we want to play a game with you. So Mel's going to explain it and then take it from here.
Basically, we have 15 lines from the show, and I'm going to give it to you, and you have to guess who in the show said it. It's okay if you say the actor's name. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I believe in you. You got this. Okay, the first one.
Oh, I thought that was a line. I was gonna be
No.
Georgia.
Okay, the first line is, I quit being a mom, the hours are long and the pay sucks.
It's Georgia or Jen's character. Let's go with
Choose
Georgia.
Choose
No,
the
it's
other.
Jen's character. Yeah, it's Jen's character.
She's the
Because
other.
that was that in the sophomore sleepover episode?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It was one of them. I knew the scene. I just didn't know which one of them said it.
Yeah, no, you got it. We're giving it to you. We're giving it to you.
Hell yeah. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
The next one is fall in a ditch.
Fall in a ditch. Maxine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is, we're like the penguins. We can't fly, but maybe we can learn to swim.
That was Nikki's character.
Yes.
Young Georgia.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is, no pants, no dare.
No pants, no dare. Brody.
Close.
Jordan.
Yes.
It was that scene though. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the next one
Saying
is,
that to
she asked-
Abby, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Extra point.
Extra point. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, the next one is, she asked me for a weed. She wasn't that friendly.
Oh, that was Marcus.
Yes. The next
In
one
the
is,
trailer.
cool people... Yeah. True. Okay, the next line is, cool people don't say they're cool.
Georgia.
Close.
Ginny.
Yes.
Okay. I know the scenes that these are from. I just don't know who's saying it. Shit. All right.
Okay, the next line is, your mom sort of scares me.
Marcus or Maxime? I'm gonna go with Marcus.
No.
No.
No. Wow. Oh, shit. That's me. I say that in the bed. Oh my god.
We're
Okay,
both
so
just...
any line that's like mine, I'm gonna struggle with it because I hate watching myself act. So
Fair.
that's how obviously in tune I am to myself. Shit. I didn't even consider myself.
It's the
No.
aftermath of, no, wait, it was me. Yes, it was you.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, the next one is, that's such a bummer. There are no good gays here.
Oh, that's Maxine.
Yes. Okay, the next one is, through the lens is how the world makes sense to me.
That's a voiceover line, I think. Jenny.
No.
No, that's Georgia.
Close.
Young Georgia.
No.
I don't know that one then.
It's Zion.
Oh, okay.
I think
now I
that's-
see what through the lens.
That might be one of the
That's-
hardest
okay.
lines we give people. They never actually get it. And I'm like, there's one photographer on the show.
Well, I think it's a metaphorical lens, and I thought it was like a metaphor, and it was like a Ginny voiceover line, but no, it's literally a lens. Zion, duh, stupid. I'm stupid.
Okay. The next one is, you're amazing, you're the best, and I'm just over it.
Maxine.
No.
Oh,
Close.
was it a member of Mang though?
Yes.
Abby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is, unless your name is Jesus, I don't think your birthday counts as a holiday.
Ginny.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a snarky Ginny line. That was pretty simple.
Okay, I'm really excited for this next one. The next line is Happy Friday.
Oh, kill myself right now. Bye. No, just kidding. Just kidding. That was Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally.
He loves.
We-
Like, thank God it's Friday. Yeah. He's a big fan of Rebecca Black. Yeah.
As you should.
As he should. Absolutely. As he should. Amazing taste Diesel has.
Amazing.
Or his character.
See, from now on, just send people clips of Rebecca Black's Friday song. Be like, here you go, Happy Friday.
I am blown away that I'm the first one to mash those two together. Unless maybe someone already did on TikTok.
I haven't seen it yet,
I'm blown
so
away.
that's a good one.
It's on my Instagram.
Okay.
Yes. It's on my Instagram, that mashup.
Okay. We'll find it. We'll find it.
Okay, the next line is, I will not be doing that.
Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Chelsea
good.
in my head. I can hear her do it.
He's good.
Okay, we got two more. Indifference is the best revenge.
Come on, that's got to be a Ginny voiceover line finally. Yeah.
And the last one is my personal favorite. It's
Ugh. I mean, that one's pretty difficult. That's either Maxine saying "ugh" at something, or that's Ginny when I'm giving her head or something. So
No. Neither of them.
no.
You were in the scene though.
I was in the scene.
Episode 10.
It was the breakup scene? Who goes, ugh? Maxine?
Marcus, that's when he comes in.
Oh, no, when he comes in, he's like, hi.
He goes,
something like that, right?
No, he goes,
Yeah, that's not right when he comes in. They're like, we know you were sleeping with Ginny. And he goes,
Yeah.
Right. Now I remember it.
I do like the descriptions of the scenes, though. I think you get like extra points for those because those are solid.
I mean, I remember it. Like, here's the thing. I've only seen the series once because I can't bear to watch myself act more than that. I might just never watch myself act ever again. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I was definitely a part of it.
Yeah, and
that's funny.
We know you as part of it. You were, as we already mentioned, on Netflix's Ginny and Georgia. You played Hunter, the lead singer of 3SB, and he ends up dating Ginny. How did you get the role, and what was like the audition process like?
So it was like just the standard audition process for anything. It was just a little different after the standard first set. I just got the sides in the summer of 2019. Wow. 2019. Years in the future. I got the sides in 2019, just read it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like an Asian guitar player. That's something I haven't seen yet. Like, this is pre-summer of BLM, so I'm used to seeing garbage for Asian people. So yeah, I did it. And they wanted me to sing a song at the end, so I chose to sing "The Shallow" by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, because I was like, oh, that's kind of popular right now. So, did that, didn't think much of it, and then it turns out I was pinned. I was like, dang, I'm finally pinned for something. I had not booked anything with lines in the film and TV world ever because I don't know, maybe I'm a shit actor, but I also think it's a lot to do with racism because I'm biracial. I'm not Asian enough, is what I've learned from auditioning. And they try to place me with families or whatever in commercial work. I don't do commercial work anymore. But yeah, like I just don't fit anything. I'm not Asian enough. I'm not white enough. But it was cool that they pinned me for this. So I didn't think much of it still because I'm like, well, I'm not Asian enough for this role. Um, and yeah, they just wanted me to do the scene again, but with my hair down because it was in a ponytail at the time. Um, and then they wanted another self tape, but me just singing a different song. I was like, oh, interesting that we're going this far. Um, so I sang Wagon Wheel, which is like my go to. Um, I hate country music, but it got popularized by Darius Rucker, who's a black guy, and I was like, hey, if there's a country song I'm gonna fuck with, it's the one by the black guy. Technically, it was written by Bob Dylan, but and an old Crow medicine band, I think. But um, yeah, I was just like, I'll do that because I'm from the middle of nowhere, Canada, um, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. Then I booked it, and I was like, what? What the hell? No DP sesh, no director producer sesh, no chemistry read or anything. And I was going to fly out to Vancouver, from Vancouver to Toronto in like a month or so. So I was like, okay, none of this is real. Um, I was in a really, really bad place before that. Um, and yeah, just by the like skin of my teeth, like luck, I booked it. It was the right place, right time, right skill set. Um, and yeah, Netflix gave me a shot, and I'll never forgive them for it. No, I'll never be able to pay them back. So, yeah, yeah.
And I mean, the rest is history. Um,
The
you
rest is
already
history.
you already mentioned that you've only seen the series once, but from a viewer's point, what would you say is your favorite episode to watch?
Episode 8, and I don't know if Netflix is gonna. Fuck, I don't care. I'm gonna explain it. The oppression Olympics scene. Tony and I wrote it. We were gonna talk about it, but that never happened. Um, I love that scene, and before Twitter got their hands on it and cut it out of context, uh, a lot of reviews really, really, they said that was one of the most powerful scenes in the show. And I think a lot of people misunderstand the scene now because of what's all been said about it. That scene, first and foremost, let me make it absolutely clear. Um, Ginny and Hunter are 15 and angry. They're in an argument and they're saying things to hurt each other. That's the point. Um, those lines, all of those lines, other than specifically about the essay, all of those lines are lines from our lives, from that age. So when I hear people say a 15-year-old wouldn't say that, a 15-year-old has said that to me and to her. I think 15-year-olds are giving themselves way too much credit. I think kids are giving themselves way too much credit on how they sound, because I don't think within a decade, Jesus Christ, it's been a decade for me, but I don't think in a decade suddenly everyone became sociology majors at 15. I think a lot of the sociology majors or whoever that are analyzing and ripping the scene apart, I've read every paper about it. Everything I've seen on websites, on interviews, people's takes, on Reddit. Yes, I did read that Reddit post. Whoever, if they're watching this, everyone's right. When you analyze and rip apart the scene, everything they're saying is right. They're just missing several factors. Number one, they're 15, so they're angry. They don't know each other's experience at all. How would Ginny know Hunter's experience? How would Hunter know Ginny's experience? Ginny perpetuates the model minority stereotype. That's absolutely true, and that is cutting to Hunter. He is very anti-black in the scene. That is absolutely true, and cutting to Ginny. They both bring up valid points about themselves and completely ignore each other's points, because that's how 15-year-olds argue. That's how angry teenagers argue about an essay of all things. I know people want to see that, like, them come together, and of course I want to see that, but it's the first season and they have to break up at some point, unless you're never going to get your bloody Hunter and Marcus thing, right? Like, something's got to happen. And I think this is a valid point. Some people don't get it because it's like, like they don't see why Hunter doesn't support Ginny right off the top. And let me personally tell you, like Hunter, he's half Asian. He's a half Asian male. He has never been good enough for anyone, especially with the way culture is towards half Asian men or Asian men in general. He's never going to be good enough in his subconscious. He doesn't have to say it. That just is the existence of of Asian men and half Asian men. Like we're inherently feminine to so many people because of media. Thank you. And we're always forgotten, like we're not to say fetishization is a good thing. It's not, but we aren't even included in that. In fact, it's the reverse. It's that we all have some tiny penises and are creepy. That's the perception for Asian men for so much of culture. So he always thinks he isn't good enough. He states, he's not good enough for the Taiwanese when he goes back to Taiwan. Obviously, he's not good enough for white people in America. Obviously, I don't care how progressive Wellsbury is. Like the microaggressions you see Ginny face, of course he's facing them. He dated Sam. Sam is like the most microaggressive out of all of them towards Ginny. Like, can people not pick up why maybe Hunter and Sam didn't make it? So in his head, when he hears Ginny say that she should have won the essay writing competition, that like he goes, what? Like that's what's going on, at least for me as the actor. That's what's going on in his head. And I think that's, is that right? Of course not. But he's 15. He doesn't know any better. And he's hurt. And he basically hears like, I did everything correct, and you're saying I'm racist. Like, what? I just did my essay. You don't even think my essay is good. Like, you just think yours is better than that. That's his perspective. And from Ginny's perspective, like, everything she said, like, what's his name? Gitten. Gitten is a racist. Like, obviously. But the way she goes about trying to portray that to Hunter, she commits the small minority thing. Hunter essentially just hears, you only won because you're Asian. And he's just like, I wrote an essay. You didn't even do the project. You didn't even do the thing. You're lucky you didn't fail. But yeah, and they go about it in the way 15-year-olds do. So yeah, I think that scene is powerful for the reason that it doesn't exist anywhere. I remember when we did it, and I told Sarah and Deb, this has never been done. Like there's been the bad boy and the good guy, and there's been the rain and the kiss in the rain or whatever scene, or like there's been a lot of things done before. This single scene has never been done before. Two biracial people have never fought about their experiences and who's got it worse. Not to say that that's something that anyone should fight about, because like I don't know, it's like people expect all of a sudden, slightly shifting to another thing, I feel like Ginny and Hunter in both get way too much crap, and I think that's solely because they're biracial. Georgia literally murders people. Sure, like I kind of understand why, like they're awful men, but she kills people. And I'm pretty sure in a society we decide that that's not okay to be vigilantes. And let's not even get into what Marcus does in episode 1. And the entire time he's cheating on Padma. But it's Ginny and Hunter that get ripped apart every episode, that I see at least online. I just saw a constant wave of those two characters getting destroyed. I think that's because there's this, people see biracial people, they don't know what to do with them. They try to put them in a box. When they don't fit that box, people get frustrated. I mean, there's tons of stuff about the biracial experience you can read, and there's a lot of that reflected in there. And that's just my experience. That's her experience. That's what it's like. So I feel, well, I even saw people say, like, there's this one tweet that really got to me. If you want to talk about race, you should have had a full black woman and a full Asian man. And it was like, just because I'm half white doesn't mean like I'm not racialized. Like Tony said it to me pretty well. It's like we're we're not monoracial, we're biracial, but we're not, that doesn't mean we're non-racial, you know? And I like to say white supremacy has never been famously inclusive. You know what I mean? Like my entire life, I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I had it worse or anything, because again, it's not a competition. Um, but people look at me and it's always been like, it's almost as if like I'm weird. They don't know what box to put me in. They understand what an Asian person is, their racist little mind, where they're like, oh, kung fu and computers. But they look at me and it's just like abomination, like racial abomination. You are the symbol multiculturalism. You're a symbol of multiculturalism, and that is offensive to me. You're a race mixed mutt, and I want to kill you. Like that's been my experience. I grew up in an extremely racist place. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I digress. That scene is my favorite in the entire show because it is new. It is different. It is just reflective of my experiences in Tony's. It was lauded for being intense and fresh and different and thought provoking, and then it was ripped apart because suddenly 15-year-olds are supposed to be perfect and talk like they've done 4 years of an undergraduate sociology major. And we're suddenly monoliths that are supposed to be exactly right about everything we're talking about, even when white characters are allowed to have faults. I think there's a bit of a double standard there, but whatever. I still love that scene, and no one's right in that scene. Like they're both wrong, and that's okay. Like people can make mistakes and be wrong. Now I will say, I told Netflix that we're going to get in a lot of trouble for this scene. And I was surprised that we didn't have a resolution. Like they're obviously saving that for like a later point, but it's kind of like, well, we're going to get ripped apart until we have a resolution. And that's the main criticism that every paper that I've read on it has. Like you can't just do that and then leave it there. And it was really risky for them to leave it there, but that wasn't my decision. I assume that we're going to have a resolution at some point, unless Hunter's not on the show all of a sudden. But yeah, like the next time Ginny and Hunter see each other, and I figure maybe at some point they're going to talk about it, and yeah, we're going to have a conclusion to that, because it's the beginning, middle, and end. That's the middle, like the beginning happens in the bedroom. Very small scene, very small mentioning of what it's like to be biracial. I thought that should have been more, but for 2019 pre-summer BLM, I accepted that. Now I wouldn't, but I think they all kind of know that as well now too. But that scene on as the middle part of this biracial arc with Hunter and Ginny, I think that's I love it. So
yeah,
and then
yeah, but I mean, like the one thing that you said is there was no conclusion to it, but I think that's the whole thing, is that we always leave things unfinished. You walk away from
that's
the
the
fight,
thing. Like it's
and you're
obviously like this is Netflix. Like it's always a cliffhanger ending, and sure, maybe people don't want cliffhanger endings when it comes to racial stuff, but like.
But it's also
this
life,
is like it's a
right?
Netflix show, like,
Yeah.
and that's life, and like there's only so much time we have, and then obviously if people like it, we'll do more, and like I don't know, like I feel that it's like we have all of a sudden those characters became monoliths for their race, but not even just their race, aka biracial people. They became monoliths for the monoracial aspect of it. And it's like, well, they're not monoracial, so they're not speaking for monoracially Black or monoracially Asian people. They're speaking on their personal experiences. Like Marcus obviously doesn't represent every white male ever. Like, so it's not like every white male ever is cheating on their girlfriends, climbing into people's windows, and like, ejaculating into someone and not paying for the plan B after. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like the character Marcus got away with that scot-free. I didn't think he would, but then I forgot. Like, oh, he's white. I can't get away with the Happy Friday thing. Are you kidding me? Like, I've received that every single day. Like, I've had people literally say, like, if Marcus had tap danced down the hall, it'd be cool. If Marcus had sang I Can Barely Breathe, it'd be cool. And it's like, okay, is this veiled racism here? Or is this like what is it? Is it me? Do I
Yeah.
just have like a punchable face or something? What is my face? My face are these two eyes, you know what I mean? So I think there's like a lot of veiled racism. So
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of why that scene, people don't take it seriously. People don't see it from the perspective of my perspective or Tony's perspective. Not to say that every biracial person is going to have the same understanding of the scene, even. You know, I've heard
Yeah.
some biracial people be like, as a biracial person, I thought the scene was ridiculous. And I'm like, well, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I've received plenty of DMs from mixed people, biracial people, and they're saying like their jaw hit the ground when they saw that scene, and they felt like they cried. They had to tell someone about it. They,
Yeah.
you know, like it's just like they never thought their experience and their confusion. That's the thing. That's the big thing. The confusion of being biracial. Like, of course, they're going to be kind of messy and all over the place when talking about this. No biracial person has ever went, oh, I know exactly what my experience is. And that's totally, this is what my life is and how it should be. And nothing's ever been complicated.
Yeah.
No, I got an entire book called Being Biracial, Where Our Secret Worlds Collide. I'm reading through that thing. It's an excruciating read because a lot of it is just like, oh, wow, emotional work. Wow, I remember doing that, or I remember hearing that. Like, people don't get it. And it's like something like very specifically biracial people will understand. Maybe other people might too, especially folks that grew up like maybe with two different cultures, maybe not necessarily biracial, but stuck in between. But I mean, when I see that scene, I hear the agony of two biracial people trying to communicate, but you know, their past frustrations and confusion get in the way. Like, they should be best friends. They should be best friends because they have so much in common. But life sucks. Life gets in the way. Ego gets in the way. Experience trauma gets in the way. Even microaggressions, you know, small traumas. And at the end of the day, that's what happens. I hope the best for the two characters. I hope they make amends.
Well, that's what we hope for season 2 then, you know? That's the thing is, you know, there's so much to unpack when it comes to Hunter and Ginny separately and together, because we still, like, yes, we know about Hunter, but we don't know about Hunter still, because he's...
No, we don't.
You know, he's his own character. He's outside of the band, outside of Ginny, outside of... Like, he's still his own person, so we don't know anything about what he went through, right? And I think that's the cool thing about this show, is that it's not afraid to be like, hey, let's put it on the forefront. Let's put this specific thing on the forefront. Let's talk about the fact that the white woman is getting away with things, but then the half woman is not, you know, and it's that kind of thing. But yeah, like, I think, you know, like, thank you for sharing just that perspective, because I don't think it gets spoken about a lot, and it's very important.
I see some people bringing it up in the comments, like some fans bring it up, like, oh, it's really interesting how, like, the two biracial people, you know, people will point out the double standard that, like, Ginny's getting bashed, whereas Georgia's a literal serial killer. Hunter, you know, is getting bashed, but, like, Marcus is just a white boy. Sad white boy. But, you know, I think there is more to Marcus than that, but it is interesting how he, you know, no one talks about how shitty of a person he is in that first episode. It's just lust over him, which, like, I get it. Felix is a very attractive dude, but yeah, I don't know. Literally anything I do on the show, I've seen, like, people go, oh my god, it's so cringy. I'm like, what? How is it going? You're beautiful. Cringy. How's that cringy? Like, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like that in real life.
It's because it doesn't get said often, right? Like, I mean, realistically speaking.
It doesn't get said. Well, what's Marcus supposed to say? Like, if Marcus was like, you're beautiful, he'd get away with it. But, like, what's the non-cringy thing to do? You look like a pile of poo. Oh, my heart! Like, what was I supposed to say? There's nothing I could say. There's nothing I could say, and that'd be good enough for these people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I could say, yeah, I could say it in French, but like it wouldn't be. They'd be like, "Oh, French is the most disgusting language on the planet." They'd say that. I'm gonna get clipped out of context with everything I say, and people are gonna be, "Oh, Mason hates French people." I don't hate French people. Je ne parle pas français. You know what I mean?
I love
can't speak
this
French.
because I'm the same exact thing. I do the same thing. I'm like, je ne parle pas français. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Je suis Mason Temple. Je ne parle pas français.
Love it. Love it. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. You know what I used to do? What I used to do to avoid like talking with people on the street, because I hate talking with people on the street. I like to just go where I'm going. I'm a little antisocial. In Taiwan, instead of being like, sorry, no Chinese. Like I do speak a fair bit of Mandarin, but if I want to like just stay on my own, I wouldn't go with English because like it's likely they know English. So I used to be like, je ne parle pas chinois. So I do it in French, and then they don't know French. So,
And then they look at you like,
they go,
never mind.
Je suis Canadien. So I go, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The basic
I just
French
like
they
to keep
teach
to
you in
myself.
school
I'm
is
not trying
all
to
you
be
need.
rude, That's it. That's it.
No.
It's just, I don't know. Sometimes we just like to go from point A to point B.
Yes.
Hi, okay.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Do my
Thank
thing,
you.
right? Yeah. I wear headphones in a lot because of that.
Oh, yes.
That's just actually like me getting used to that because growing up being racialized, it's like I just would rather not talk to people on the street because I'm used to like getting attacked or getting yelled at to go back to my country.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm. Oh, what is my favorite line from the show? I gotta be totally honest. Like, it's a Marcus line, and he has a ponytail for a personality. When I read that, I thought that was the funniest thing the funniest diss I've ever heard on myself. I've been dissed a lot in my life. And that one, I was like, I want to know the writer that wrote that, because like, fuck them. But like, also, that's some funny shit. That is hilarious. He's got a ponytail for a personality. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not the most deep answer, but that is my single favorite line. Yeah. Oh, my favorite character. Who would I say?
We put you on the spot.
It's either
we're the worst people.
It's either Zion. It's either adult Zion. Nathan kills it, but also I think that character is just really interesting. And I mean, it's kind of a complicated thing because like it starts off when everyone thinks he's like the neglectful black father, and then it's not. Like he's actually he's a creative. This was a decision that was made by Georgia and Zion.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I want to participate in Ginny's life, and ultimately, he makes the sacrifice for Georgia, because Georgia's going to go and do her thing. So he's like, okay, like he loves Georgia, and he would do anything for her, including leave, which is like. So I think that character is really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'd also say young Georgia. Biased. Nikki and I are very good friends, but she gets to do all the coolest shit in the show. Are you kidding me? She's in like a different show. She's got her own little movie going on. So, young Georgia's dope. I stand young Georgia, but like Zion, I think in the main timeline is there's a lot of really cool things about that. I love to do a character like that. Essentially, like I see that, I'm like, dang, I love, like that'd be so neat. That's
Yeah.
my favorite character.
Well, maybe Hunter just decides he wants to become a musician and, like, embrace his creative side or something. And
Ride a motorcycle.
Ride a
He's gonna
motorcycle.
steal Marcus's motorcycle. There we
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Have a
Yeah.
little spin-off where he's in New York, he's playing guitar, busking on the street.
There you go.
Being poor.
We can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, from set specifically, I would say probably when we played Smash Bros in between sets, in between shots. I think that was really, really, like we're a really close cast. All of us are friends. All of us get along. All of us hang out. We all miss each other dearly. And yeah, like we would play Smash Bros. I brought my Switch, and then everyone started bringing their Switch. And we were playing Smash Bros. In some trailers. Sometimes we brought it to the green room, and yeah, like I wasn't the worst at it. Tyson was, but then Tyson got better, and then now I'm the worst at it. I'm like, oh my god, Tony, like she's a monster at it. I gotta admit. Tony Colton are on a different level. Apparently, Ezra, Tony's partner, is like competitive. I'm like, oh, shit. Well, if that's why you're so good, then I don't want to play against him. Her and I both main Kirby, so we'd go at it with Kirby. It was just like, oh crap, she's kicking my ass. That's not fair. Don't you ever tell Tony I said this. And Tony, if you're watching, you suck. But no, Tony's really good at Smash Bros. It's disturbing. So, yeah. I want to see Hunter and Ginny make up, but I don't want them to just automatically do it. Like they're like okay. So I think they're feuding probably at the top because like um Hunter just got all that dropped on him. Personally, I don't know why it's such a big deal. I don't know why Maxine's that upset. Like, oh, you had sex with my brother, whatever. A man just got cheated on right over here. You know what I mean? Like, this poor boy right here walks in. He's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I just told this girl I love her." Like, kind of a stupid thing to do, buddy. Like you after the fight you got into, you don't just drop the "I love you." But like, whatever. Okay, that's where his mind is at. Poor stupid guy. He walks into here and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you've been cheated on the entire time. What? But it's all about Maxine being sad. I don't get why that's not her business who Ginny's having sex with. Her boyfriend? Yeah, that's kind of his business.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hunter's probably pissed at her. And is like they're probably feuding. So I would like to see Hunter react like a human being to that. And I kind of want to see him get like bad. Like I don't know if he's got to be like bad. Like he doesn't have to go out of his way to piss off Ginny, but like they were rivals academically, and that's when they were dating. I want to see what they would be like when they're not dating, and like Hunter's like hate this person now. I think that'd be interesting. On Cameo, some people apparently there's a group of folks on Twitter that are like shipping Marcus and Hunter together, and I gotta be honest, I would love to see like as a cliffhanger ending for season 2, like Ginny they're at a party or something, and Ginny walks in and just be like, Marcus, I whatever, like I love you or something, to see Hunter like topping Marcus or something. Like I think that would be one. I mean, like I don't know, I'm bi, and when it came out that I'm bi, which like let me be clear, I've always been bi, so I did not come out. Just people assumed wrong. When it came out, apparently people are like, oh, this is good for Munter, is what they're calling it. And I'm like, yeah, like hell yeah, I'd love to see that. I suggested actually when we were filming that if we go on to a second season, I want to see Hunter, be with men too, like because I'm bisexual. I actually suggested Jordan. I thought Hunter and Jordan maybe, but the idea of Hunter and Marcus, I feel like that'd be controversial. But Yeah, like I think that'd be really interesting. Like I don't think that they're end game at all. I think it'd be very toxic, and
Yeah.
I think it would be a good way to explore um, that sort of thing, like not just
Hmm.
bisexuality, but also maybe internalized homophobia
Yeah.
and toxicity among with men, like discovering that they're not heterosexual,
Hmm.
or maybe even just like like normalizing experimentation with one's sexuality, because I feel like there's nothing wrong in like, you know, experimenting and seeing like I don't know, like maybe I am this or that. I think
Hmm.
that there's a lot of gold in there, and particularly between Marcus and Hunter, like that's like a powder keg. I don't think it needs to get like really bad or toxic
Yeah.
or whatever, but I think it could be very real, like um, you know, you know, and it's like an enemies to lovers
So
thing. Like
any,
who
yeah.
doesn't love that? But I don't know. Like I'm not a writer on the show, you know what I mean? I have
Yeah.
absolutely no influence whatsoever. I don't personally, I don't think it's going to happen ever. It would make my life if it happened, but I don't think I'm very realistic about this. I don't
Yeah.
think that it would happen, and I don't think that the world is ready for that. You know what I mean? I wish it
Hmm.
were. I would
Hmm.
love to see it, but I think that wouldn't get greenlit because of that reason alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, apparently there's an entire advocacy group on Twitter, so I think there are already fanfics. That's who
Tumblr.
contacted me about it.
Tumblr's a beautiful place sometimes. So.
Oh yeah, of course. Like yeah, Tumblr. So, but yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Um, I also would love. I would love if like there's like a psych out moment where I don't know, Hunter and Ginny like make up. Maybe he like throws the chips at her or something, you know, something really cute like that. And they go in for like a kiss, or well, like maybe they make up and like Ginny goes in for a kiss, and then Hunter like pulls back and is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think that would be such a moment. That would be
Yeah.
iconic. That would be like, oh, oh my God, what just happened? Because I don't know.
Hmm.
People are like, oh, are they getting back together? No,
No.
no, never, never.
Well,
And
and
Hunter
and
just like,
yeah,
no.
no, and I think that's the thing is like, how is Hunter going to deal with this, right? Because he just got
Yeah.
cheated on, so he's been
That's the
cheated
big thing.
on.
It's such a wide, like it can go anywhere, and
Yeah.
yeah, like not to say that the way I'm thinking about it is the way it should be or anything. Again, I am not a writer on the show.
Hmm.
I wish I were, but they did not hire me as a writer on the show. So that is what it
Yeah.
is, and they will do whatever they do.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think we're gonna see me tap dance again. That's not true. Actually, I don't know. I know I know like Sarah deep down wants to do a musical episode, but I don't know if Netflix will let her. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that Netflix is bad or something, but I just don't know if it's like in the budget or in the to like do a
Fair.
full on, you know, like
Mm.
Buffy musical
Yeah.
type of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Fair. Fair. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
know. That's probably the only time you'll ever see me get to tap dance on the show ever again. So yeah.
So you
Although I did
mentioned.
suggest, I'm like, you got to get me tap dancing to Sexy Back. Like, come on, let's do it. I don't care. Come on. Sexy Back? Are you kidding me?
Do
I'm
it.
bringing Sexy Back. Double pull back.
Why don't
Yeah.
you just do it? You just do it. Scarlett can be with you
No.
in the video, and the two of you can have a nice
No,
little.
she'd just like poo on me or something.
She's
Yeah.
just in the corner, bottom
much.
corner.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's just like she's trying to assert her dominance by peeing because she's like, oh, I don't like the stompy sound. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you actually got to write a couple of the scenes, like this.
Just the Impression Olympics.
Just the impression scene. Okay, so how did it feel to be able to say like, I actually got to write this myself and I got to then present it and do it like you
It
as
was
a
the most
person.
empowering experience ever.
Yeah.
Like again, I will defend that scene till the death.
Mhm.
Because for Tony and I, it was like, wow, actually a mainstream thing just asked us what the hell we think about being biracial. Never
Yeah.
in my life, ever did I think my opinions would be considered, that my existence as a biracial person would be individualized.
Mm-hmm.
That, all those messages I got, exact same thing, biracial people going, what?
Yeah.
We just got acknowledged, like we exist. Our experience is valid.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
validation. It was being witnessed. It was the most empowering thing that has ever happened to me, to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I went back to school for writing, because I'm like, my voice actually mattered.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
knew, sure, it matters, like on paper. My voice actually mattered for
Mm-hmm.
once.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and yeah,
Yeah.
so now I'm just trying to write stories about, being biracial, because I know that existence is not accurately represented. We're
Mm-hmm.
so often weaponized. Like, I understand why monoracial people um, didn't accept the scene, were apprehensive, maybe went in with the wrong or whatever state of mind,
Mm-hmm.
because biracial people have always been weaponized against monoracial people. We have been used to erase their stories, to replace them. But in that replacing, our stories are not being reflected and
Yeah.
are obviously being erased as well.
Yeah.
Um, I'm lucky enough to say that I have not replaced any monoracial stories, because simply no one casts me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But um, it has happened before. So I get why people may have been apprehensive
Mm-hmm.
and not understood, and not even considered that, oh, actually, they're not trying to tell the experience from a monoracial lens. They're telling the experience from the two actors' actual lenses.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's simply what it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
nothing more than what our actual lives are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
it was empowering, and I tell Sarah and Deb, like, no one's ever done that for me. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's, yeah. I told
Yeah.
them, like, you have no idea what this is going to mean for so many people, and now
Yeah.
now they actually have seen it with the
Yeah.
with the DMs. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'm here hoping that you get the chance to continue to just be able to share any experience that you think needs to be shared, because I mean, like, even with your own script, like, the more that you are able to show it and produce it, the more people get to be validated and their experiences are
yeah.
represented. So definitely a very, very, very important thing in our world, and I think the pandemic has helped us actually be okay with these things being presented and being broadcasted.
I don't know if it was the pandemic, but the pandemic certainly played a part in the summer of BLM, and pushing things to, like, the point of, like, okay, well, literally, there's no excuses because you're not doing anything else. Let's maybe deal with this social issue
Yeah.
globally right now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
set a new precedent. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So let's switch gears a second here. And I want to talk a little bit about rejection. And I think, rejection's not always talked about. People, it's also at times kind of like romanticized. Not every opportunity is yours and the door will open when
right,
it opens. But, it is
right.
hard. It's tough to hear no, especially when you're very like, I think I got this, I could do this type of thing. How do you deal with rejection, and like kind of like how do you move on and keep going and continue to audition and stuff like that?
I drink and do hardcore drugs. No, I don't. No, I don't. Not at all. Um, yeah. So I touched on a little bit that this life is hard,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really difficult, particularly in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, man, I wish I knew the euphoria it is to get rejected as a white person. To
Mm.
not go, oh wow, is it because I'm too Asian or too white or
Yeah.
whatever? You know what I mean? I wish
Yeah.
I had that euphoria. But I don't. And I've been told it's because of racial reasons several times, especially when you
Mm-hmm.
get pinned for something and they're like, actually, they're going to look for a different race. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you literally asked for mixed Asian. Now you don't want mixed Asian. Thanks.
Yeah.
Um, but that's a very specific one.
Mm-hmm.
The best way I can tell other actors how to deal with rejection is to always assume you never got it. It sounds like nihilistic, but just always assume you never got it,
Mm-hmm.
and go in there, do your best work, throw it away, and hell, do whatever you need to do. Like, so I do know some people that drink and do hardcore drugs. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. because that's not sustainable is my thing. That's not
Yes.
sustainable.
Yes.
I go and I go for a walk. I like going for a walk. When it's something I really want, I just go for a walk and I try to let it go. Go. Wow,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. I do my little daydream, live that life out, let it go. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. Talk to
Yeah.
some friends. Honestly, like I have anxiety. I have really, really severe anxiety. And yeah, sometimes like my brain just won't stop, and if it's a role I really want, I'll like
Yeah.
think about it forever. But then I just kind of pour. You got to try to find a way to pour that energy into something else,
Yeah.
Pour it into making your own stuff. Like my big thing is if you can make your own stuff, or at least be like it helps you feel productive. It helps you get the creative juices flowing, and maybe at the end of the day you get to actually do it.
Yes.
So then you become self-sustaining as an artist.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I'd say, just because you can't rely. Like there are plenty of people that like just act, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. That's a huge gamble. I don't think you can sustain that. I think you should be always creating your own stuff, even if it doesn't get made at the end of the day or produced or whatever. Yeah. Direct your energy to whatever you can in a productive way is what I'd say. But if you got to do your drinks and drugs, then I'm not gonna judge or hate. That's your biz. But I go for walks or I try to make something. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I think walks and trying to make something is definitely
much
really
healthier.
good advice. No, but
healthier.
I mean, it's a little healthier too, but it definitely does kind of also get you to just distract yourself from what's happening. Because if you're stuck into this, okay, so did I get it? Did I actually do a good job? I felt like I did good, but did I actually, like, your mind just going to keep playing games with you, right? And
also know that it's a lot, like as an actor, especially if you're not like a Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever, where people are offering you roles.
Yes.
It's a lottery. It's a lottery because you get everyone gets to a certain point of quality with their acting.
Yeah.
And then it's just looks and luck at the end of the day, and it's awful. But I mean, that's what happens when it comes to stuff that's like, money.
Yeah.
When it's like big productions, it comes down to money.
Yeah.
So it's looks and luck.
Yeah.
Of course, make sure you're up to that standard of acting, and you can still go further than that standard. That's how you get like a Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight or something. You get the right fit, the right role, the right actor, the right take.
Yes.
But, most of it is just everyone at the same level, and then just looks and luck. So.
And how do you kind of deal with the concept of like comparing yourself to other people? So, we've talked about how people like to put others in a box. That was a big thing that you
can't compare yourself to anyone else. Like it just doesn't work. Like Felix and I are like so vastly different. Love the guy. He loves me. We're great friends.
Yeah.
There's nothing to compare there. Like we are just so vastly different, and we'll never be able to be compared. Let's say it's me and like a Ryan Potter, another half Asian guy. Still, nothing to compare there. We're completely different people. We have totally different takes on how we approach acting, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like I haven't talked to the guy ever. I've never met him, but like just looking at his performances versus my performances, it's like there's nothing to compare there.
Yeah.
You can be in a room, in an audition room, and see all these other people, and the thing is like, you can't compare yourself to them. Like they're literally just not you. There's not enough similarities. They may even look like you. I've never been in a room with people that look like me, but they might. Let's say they look like you. Like it's like Emma Stone in La La Land, and everyone's wearing the same thing. Like still, like when it comes to roles like that,
every person is.
Each person is an individual. Even if it's like a role that's like there's just so many identical people in the same room. Then like whatever. Like that. If anything, that brings a sense of like, oh well, it's really not in my hands, it's in the hands of luck at that point, because I'm identical to anyone else in the room, but I've never been identical to anyone in the room, so generally it's just like, shit, I hope they're not racist. So that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think, I definitely think the more that we get exposed to conversations like these and are able to have these kind of conversations, the easier we'll get to just not get offended and not be like, well, you don't know that because you don't know my, like allowing the space for conversation definitely will help. So thank you for sharing. And before we end off, we always like to do some fun questions. So we're going to do just very, very quick ones. Some might stump you, I think, because we always like to break people on the podcast. But we will see how you do. The first one I have for you is Canadians, for some reason, are known to mix and match crazy combinations when it comes to food. So what is the craziest food combination that you have ever had?
I don't know if it's Canadians because I think you're just thinking Torontonians. When I was in Toronto, I saw a lot of weird fusion food. That's not a thing in Vancouver other than Jaffa Dog. But in Toronto, there's this place called, I think, Subu Sushi Burrito. That shit was great. There's also Roti Rito. Shout out to Roti Rito on Uber Eats. It's not a physical restaurant. It's just an Uber Eats thing.
Yeah.
I had so many butter chicken roti ritos. It's roti in a burrito, but it's like Sri Lankan roti. It also was like the spiciest thing I've ever eaten in my life. They like upped the spice level after the first few I had or something.
Okay.
And it was like, it hurt going in and out. So it was, I mean, that's how hot it was. I'm not like a spice queen or anything, but I have my tolerance, but that was insane how spicy one of them were. But I'd say those two are awesome. Like I love Subu.
Oh my goodness,
and Roti Rito.
Subu's my favorite, so I don't blame you.
Yo, Subu, hit me up with a sponsorship. Come on. I love your shit.
It's so Mel, you look confused. It's literally like sushi, but in a burrito.
In a burrito, it's awesome.
There's
like one I get all the time.
Burrito itself is like sushi, or
is it
seaweed?
Like
it's like sushi in the shape of a burrito. It's not really a burrito at all.
Yeah,
but Roti Rito is a burrito.
So what I'm gathering is that after COVID, I'm coming to Canada to try this.
Yeah.
You're going to Toronto. I don't think this is a thing in Vancouver. Vancouver's foodie scene is immaculate. I love it. It's insanely awesome, especially if you're like vegan or vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm not, but like we got like Main Street. There's like an entire section that's just like ace vegetarian and vegan food. But Toronto's foodie scene, it's not bad, but it's definitely a lot more like interesting fusion foods, which I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's very interesting and it's very Toronto.
Yes, so. Yeah, we like to be unique here and give people a reason to keep coming back, so.
Yeah, it's unique. It's unique.
So, in terms of just, whether in Canada or around the world, what's your favorite place that you have traveled to or gone to go visit?
I don't get to travel to a lot of places because I was in poverty before Jenny in Georgia. So I'd go to the States or I'd go to Taiwan. But I have been to China and apparently I was in Disneyland Tokyo when I was 2. But I'd say Taiwan is my favorite. I'm heavily biased there. I'm Taiwanese. I have citizenship. I love going back. But just food culture in Taiwan is different than North America. It's awesome. There's food everywhere. The way I describe it to people, I have a really strong sense of smell. I'm also kind of a super taster. But I could navigate the streets of Taiwan with a blindfold, just off the scent, like a dog.
Really? Okay.
Like you can, I know the smells of the corners, like certain areas in Taiwan. I know, like, oh, I'm in what neighborhood. I'm near which night market, off of scent.
Wow.
That is how immersively awesome Taiwan is. Food's everywhere. It's awesome. That's my favorite place.
That's your favorite place? Okay. I haven't visited
say it's my favorite place in the world.
But I will go visit once I am able to fly and not need to quarantine when I get back home.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's my favorite place in the world because I live in my favorite place in the world. Vancouver is my favorite place in the world.
Okay.
But it's my favorite place to travel to.
Okay. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay, we already touched on music, but going more into your favorites, what is one artist you can listen to on repeat and never get tired of?
Um, there's actually quite a few. In my younger years, like Fall Out Boy, Green Day, Panic at the Disco, all day long.
Yes.
But I gotta be honest, like I don't think the Black Keys have ever played a song that I don't like. I don't think they're my favorite band necessarily, because Green Day and Fall Out Boy still hold that spot, I think, for me. But they have produced stuff like Green Day and Fall Out Boy. They produce stuff that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
Black Keys, I'll I'll I I'll play any album. They all kind of sound the same. I love it. That's not necessarily true. They all sound kind of different. I know which album I'm listening to every time I hear a song. But um, um, yeah, I don't know. I keep finding hits that I'm like, dang, that's awesome. I'm gonna learn that on the guitar later. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I can seriously listen to anything on theirs on repeat. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, another question that stumps most people we have on is what are your top 2 favorite songs of all time?
Of all time, doesn't stump me. I have a list. But I'll pick two. I'll say my what is on my phone, my favorite song, and then I'll say what my favorite song is right now. On my phone, apparently the song I've played most is "Holding On to You" by 21 Pilots.
Nice.
So if you know the song, it's like, oh, you're a sad boy, and it's like, yes, I am. 2013 was a very rough year for me. I think the song came out in 2013. No, I think it came out in 2012. But
high school.
listened to
I
it a
get
lot in
it. I get it.
2013.
High school.
High school.
I
Yes.
get it. I
I
get
was a sad boy in high school, and I was So that's where I was at in high school. Apparently, it's still #1 on my phone. That's how many times I played it. Um, I've got a whole playlist of anthems essentially, and I would say the anthem for me is probably "Lonely Boy" by the Black Keys. I just think it's such a bop. I can play it on the guitar. I can play it slightly different acoustically. And yeah, I don't know. It came in like they're all high school songs for me, right? Like apparently your musical taste is set pretty much 14 to 18, I think. And that's
So
pretty
high
much
school,
when
yeah.
both those songs. Yeah, it's high school. So, but yeah, that's like I got a bunch of anthem songs. That's one of the oldest anthem songs that I have. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
So.
now I'm intrigued how you're going to answer this next question, because the next question is, if you had to pick a song to play every single time you enter a room,
Lonely
to
Boy.
kind of...
Oh, wow.
It's either Lonely Boy. I got a list of them. Like that's the thing. I got a list of them. I got like songs that would play every time. Like my theme song, or like if I were to walk into a room, it would be.
Your walkout
I guess I
song,
can't play it for you because copyright reasons. But yeah, like Lonely Boy or Troublemaker by Weezer, or Spin the World by Eric Zane. Or no, I'd say those are probably the three if I was going to say the three. Hey, what's up, Terrence? Yeah, I'd say those 3 songs or Boulevard of Broken Dreams. I don't know. That was my first anthem
Okay, that's
when I was like 10 or something.
I feel like that was like that
oh
takes
yeah,
you.
I'm so alone.
There's this game we used to play that like I think everyone would have this song, like Boulevard of Broken Dreams, like playing while you're on the computer playing this game. I was like, you just took me back to middle school. Like we went further back.
Yeah, took me back to elementary school. But yeah.
Well, I came to Canada when I was in
definitely
middle
those songs.
school, so that's when I got into the
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, another question to get to know you a little bit better is, if you could switch bodies with someone for an entire day, who would you switch with and why?
I can't say that. So I'm not gonna say that because that's gonna put me on an international travel ban list, and not for the reasons you think. It's for a different country.
Okay.
But I'll just
I'm
say
so
Winnie
intrigued.
the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, and I'll leave it at that. But um, anyone who knows what I'm talking about and probably what I'd do if I were Winnie the Pooh. Um, that's all. Then who else would it be? I don't know. I'd probably be like Kevin Feige, and I call myself up. I could be like, "Hey, Mason Temple, do you want to roll
Okay.
as Cyclops or something?" No, or whoever, like Jeff Johns or someone over at DC. I'd be like, "Hey, let's get that Batman Beyond deal done."
Okay. Yeah, I love
I
it.
don't know. I'd probably do
Making it
something
work for
stupid like that,
yourself.
you know?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, basically, like I don't know
Send the
that,
email
or
so
I'd
it's
be someone
in.
that I'm very attracted to, I don't know, and I'd be like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm the attractive person, and just probably touch myself. I don't know, like
That's when you would follow yourself on Instagram and just be like, yes, send a DM so that way the next day, you're like,
something like that. Yeah.
how you doing? Yeah, no, I'm
Hey,
here for it.
you reached out to me, so
Yeah.
what's up? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, but I'd probably give myself a job is what I would probably do at this point. But yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So fun. So we talked a lot about your career as an actor. But if you weren't an actor, what do you think would you be up to right now?
There are two things, and one of them is like really real. Uh, I'd probably be dead. If I didn't get into acting, I don't think I would have left my hometown, because it's kind of a thing where you kind of need a reason to leave. It's kind of the self-imposed barrier a lot of us had. But I probably would have just ended my life, to be completely honest. I hated every moment there. Not every single moment, but so many moments there, that like I was already at that point. So I had attempted twice, but yeah. I don't think I'd be here today. But let's say I did leave. I probably would have been at like BCIT learning computer science, and AI always interested me. Robotics always kind of interested me. So I guess I might do that, or just computer repair. I did that growing up, and like a lot of that stuff, I just figured out through intuition alone. That would be the ghost, because not my roommate, the guy fixing the window, isn't in there, and the door opened.
Scarlett.
Nope, there's no animals out here. The door just opened.
Well,
So
it's the ghost.
Well,
We like the
the
ghosts.
The ghost.
The ghost.
Yeah, the ghost is here. So what's up? What's up, ghost? Hey, buddy. No, don't be like that. If you're gonna be weird, you can. Just flew out the window.
Ghosty. Ghosties are so rude sometimes. Don't know people manners.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's having a rough time.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
having a rough day.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up the interview, we have one last question for you, which is my favorite question because it gets us to know you personally a little bit more. It's, what's the most useless talent that you have?
3.14159265358979323846264. I think I definitely know
Sure.
21 digits of pi.
Sure.
Yeah, I also know Alcade, Alcor, Alioth, Mizar, Fecta, Mirak, Dubé. I think I missed one of them, but those are the stars of the Big Dipper. Oh, even better. I'm gonna do a magic trick. One sec. I'm gonna do a card trick.
He disappeared.
I know
doesn't
so many
matter.
useless skills. I know so many useless skills.
I love that though.
I literally did these card tricks on a date. Actually, I wrote a script where oh, Scarlett, I'm gonna be with you in a sec. Oh, she's so sad. Oh wait, I can't really do a card trick for you.
You can.
Online,
It's a video podcast.
But I mean, here's the problem with it though. Like, you can't pick the cards.
Oh,
She's
yes.
so sad. She's like, give me attention. Well, basically, like, it's difficult. It's really difficult because it's like you have to kind of be here, else you can't prove what I'm doing. So basically, like, you pick a card, any card, right? Like, let's say you pick that card, okay? You pick that card, and then basically what I do, we take that card, we put it into the deck, right? We put it in there, and then I get your hand, and then we say some magical words and whatnot.
Okay.
And then bippity boppity boo.
Okay.
And then basically I just like flipped your card upside down. But of course it's like super easy to do that on like a webcam because you can't see the deck of cards. But there's your card. But yeah, it's something you have to do in person. I know like a small set of magic tricks all using a deck of cards. So.
Okay.
One day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll come to Vancouver.
One day.
I'll come to Vancouver.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm what, a 4-hour flight away. I will be there, and then we will record it.
I'm like
I'll
I'm
do
like a 15-hour flight away, but I'll be there.
Yeah, just for Mason and his card tricks.
Just for
He
Mason.
likes to pretend he's Penn and Teller.
Actually, I'll be there for Scarlet,
Gosh,
but like
I dropped
your card tricks can.
Yeah, I mean that's what
something.
my life is now. It's just people. Everyone only cares about Scarlet.
No,
We came for the card tricks. We stayed for Scarlet.
There we go.
There we go. Yes.
Everything else, like Mason, his personality, hang out with him or whatever. Nah, no one cares.
I think we'd have a
so.
great time having food. I think you seem to be very like, let's go have food. So I'm here for that.
I'm a
So,
foodie.
like-
And in Vancouver, the foodie scene is so good. I also know some shuffling tricks, but yeah, card tricks.
He got it. He got the cards, and he's like, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go.
Magic is sexy. Like, come on. Like, I wrote a different screenplay where like this guy's on a date with a former busking magician, and she's like the hottest thing he's ever seen because it's like, wow, you can like do magic. Like, it's so cool. It's cool as hell. And, like all of a sudden, it's like, oh wow, dang.
Petition for Hunter to pull out a magic trick in season 2.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have Hunter pull up magic tricks.
No more tap dancing, but you'll get the card tricks. I think that's a good compromise.
I know 1,000,001 random useless skills. Like for a play, I had to like ride one of those hoverboard things, and I got so good at that. Like in a day, I was able to like put out a cigarette behind my back, like taking one leg off the hoverboard and being on one leg, and I had to fight a bear, but it was like a puppet. But like I had to fight a bear with that, and I had to puppet a bunch of birds on my fingers. So I was like zooming around on like crunched down on with like stuff on my fingers. So it was a weird play, but like yeah, I had to learn how to use a hoverboard for that. Definitely bailed a couple times and like may have gotten a concussion once, but yeah, I did an entire play on a hoverboard. Damn.
As one
What were some other weird? I had to learn to cumbia, salsa, and one other dance for another play. Another Chilean dance. It's like one with a napkin, and you gotta like slap your knees with the napkin and stomp a bunch.
So how was the
it's
Cupid
like
shuffle for you, for Ginny and Georgia? Because we've heard stories about
nothing. Yeah, the Cupid shuffle. That shit was awesome. Like I enjoyed that shit. I loved it. There's like lots of videos of me like doing partner dancing out there, doing the same like electric slide and the octopus trick with Nikki and with Umberly.
Okay.
So there's videos of me doing that, and Sarah actually. I did that with Sarah too.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to barn dance in Fort St. John. That's the thing. Like you actually have to learn how. It's a weird world up there. You gotta learn how to two-step, jive, and whatnot. At the barn dance, where all the kids are going at the sock hop. I'm not joking. I lived in a weird in like a weird 50s TV show in the middle of nowhere.
Yet you don't like country music.
I hate country music. No, here's the thing. I hate stadium country.
Fair.
I like some songs ironically, like Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. Like I like that ironically now. But and Country Girl, like I like that ironically.
Yes.
But like I make a joke at the very end of that pilot that I wrote. If I make it a series, there's a final moment in it where the kids are going to the high school and they're realizing, oh, this place is awful because like people are flying around Confederate battle flags in Canada, which is true. Like that's a thing. When I got to my high school, people did that. And it kind of ends with someone yelling at the two biracial kids, go back to where you came from, you fucking shit. They say like racist stuff, and then like the two kids look at each other, and then it cuts to black. Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Like from I forget who wrote that, but Your Man is the name of the song.
No.
I hate all that music. like if I made this series and it goes further and further, like country music is a punchline because it's like how much Christian, the character that is me, hates country music. Like I used to work at I used to banquet serve at a hotel, and we would do these auctions, these awful auctions, and they'd be playing like and weddings, and it'd always be country music, like oh give me, oh give me, oh give me a redneck girl, like that shit would be playing. I hate it. Another one is like, I think it's something like she likes my tractor, like that's the basis of a song or whatever. She likes my tractor.
The only tractor one I know is like the big green tractor one.
Is that the one?
Maybe it's that one. It's like you could take a ride
be.
on my big green tractor. We could go slow or we could go faster.
It's like the
Country
worst
music.
metaphor for sex. Like, are you kidding me? Like the same, like you take a ride on my tractor. Okay, Luke Bryant or Michael Sheldon, whatever. I don't know their names. It's Blake Shelton. That's the guy.
Blake Shelton.
I don't know what their names are. But yeah, but I will say there's some, like I like older country, like Johnny Cash,
Okay.
Bob Dylan stuff. Some of it's considered country.
Yeah.
Like Darius Rucker. Granted, Bob Dylan kind of wrote part of that. So
Yeah.
that's why I like that song, Wagon Wheel. There's a song called Follow Your Arrow, and it's like a surprisingly progressive country song where it's like you know, how's it go? It's like, make lots of noise, kiss lots of boys, or kiss lots of girls, if that's what you're into. Like, I was like, oh, that's very progressive for such a country song.
Yeah.
But it's basically about just following your arrow, you know.
Yeah.
Do what you want. It also is like smoke a joint if you want. I'm like, what is this hippie country music? Like, I dig that. It's normally just like for me, again, that's like the anthem of like the racist people, you know, that are gonna come and attack me. So that's why I hate country music. But
fair.
I don't know. There's some stuff that's like, you know, I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
Chicken Fried. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that song, but my dad is. I guess,
that's the
like,
best song. I love that song.
I've become acclimatized to that one.
Okay.
But I don't know. That one's not really for me.
You should listen to a song
Sweet
called
Home
Chicken...
Alabama.
Yeah, no one likes that song. Come on.
I mean, I play it on the guitar though, because my dad. That's like the first thing he plays every time he picks up a guitar.
Okay.
So like now, as a joke, I always do that too. But that's like, is it a joke anymore? That's the thing I play all the time now. So.
Yes, it's not. Yeah, it's no longer a joke. But you should listen to a song called Chicken Tendies.
DC@9. Chicken Tendies. Oh,
Chicken Tendies.
Such a good song.
What's that?
It's by
Is it a
Clinton
country
Kane.
song?
Not really a country song. It's very cute. It's a cute song. I found it on TikTok and I just like it. So I'm intrigued
TikTok
if you'd
songs.
like it.
Okay.
Wait, Hannah,
We'll see.
remember to cut this out. This is Chicken Tendies.
I don't know. Is this a country song? It sounds like a song out of like 2007. I'm like working at Quiznos and like it's playing. You know, the next song is gonna be like 1,000 Miles or whatever.
Probably. That's where I'd put it. It's not country. You just said Chicken
and then, like,
Fried.
The Fray
and
is
I
gonna
got
come on after.
Yeah.
So.
No. I think it's not country. Just you said Chicken Fried, and I was like Chicken Tendies, and then that's my mind just made the connection.
Chicken Tendies.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Chicken Tendies to be the name of that song. You know what I mean? Like I expected Chicken Tendies to be like a I don't know, a funkier song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's not a funky song, but we're gonna just say thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and open up with us.
No
like
problem.
I feel like I just got to know a new friend, and you're very wise and you're very, very, like, I just love your energy. I love your vibe, and
Let me
I'm
clarify.
here for
I'm
you.
not very wise. I come off maybe like I think I'm smart, but I'm one of the dumbest people on the bloody planet.
He said,
so
I'm an actor.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
No, but
I played myself. What a loser. permanently sad.
Oh no.
No such thing as a stable job. You could have just done computers, you stupid idiot. Lol.
No, but
So,
you're following your
really.
passion, and that's I think what's admirable. So I love that.
Yeah,
And
it's impulsive.
yeah, and I love that, and I love how impulsive it is, and we don't have enough of that in the world. So I'm here for it.
Yeah.
My 25-year-old self wishes she was doing what she wants to do. So she's not, because I'm not a full-time photographer.
Well,
but
we all make our way to wherever we're supposed to do.
exactly.